Hi. So came in from outside, a little bit of a, it's warm out today. Anyways, so I think I shared in one of my videos, like I was going through a folder I found last night, and that led into some weird segue. We're not going to get caught up there, or we might. Anyways, so I was looking through, I mean, this is stuff from when I was like in middle school. I have done writing. I've written things for years. It's, this, welcome to self-discovery 1,000,001. Writing has always been one of my greatest, purging tools. And apparently from a very young age, I was looking for love everywhere, but inside myself, like, hold on. So, okay, this is so crazy. So like, this is some of the stuff, like this had to be from the 90s. Like I'm talking middle school, like wrote in pencil, wrote really weird. Like, I don't even know, like this is titled True Love. The fuck did I will always, I don't even know. I will always, me loving you. I don't know what that says. Missing you. You get the gist. So I reading that, and then a song I wrote for Paula Abdul, Inspiration of My Dreams, because, man, that chick saved my life. We'll get into that maybe in a little bit. I don't know. She really did. She did. Growing up the way I grew up, having Paula to look up to was the song title was Inspiration of My Dreams. She was a very positive role model for me when I needed it the most. Anyways, with that being said, thank you, Paula, by the way. Truly, I still want to meet you one day. And although my brother has departed from this earth, I know he would be beaming down at me so incredibly filled with happiness. Anyways, so I don't know what, I am stuck on Paula. I fucking love you, Paula. Anyways, so way back then, right? Even writing then, it was always about what's outside of myself. And I know I have covered this, especially on one of my channels, right? I've covered this. Self-love is everything. And that's what I've been doing these last months. Oh, believe me, there's people I would love to flirt with and, but it's not about anybody outside of myself. Truly, the endurances I have gone through, and I don't mean while physically racing, have been for my highest and greatest good. So for me to find this and realize at such a young age, like I was taught to reach outside of myself, and I don't remember if my parents ever told me about loving self. Like, what does that mean? And I asked one of my friends, I asked my best friend, you know who Nikki is, about what are they teaching kids in school? And I'm like, Nikki, are they teaching? Because I've asked, my people here, like, what do they teach kids in school? Are they teaching them about self-love, self-growth, self-everything? Like about how to deal with emotions, how to regulate emotions, how to identify emotions. Because for me, they give you those face cards, I think in like junior kindergarten, or I don't know what the fuck, kindergarten, whatever. I went through junior kindergarten twice because I started school early, so they kept me back so I could be with blah, blah, age group, whatever. So yeah, so I went junior kindergarten twice, senior kindergarten, and then first grade. I was so lucky to be in school so long. Maybe that's why I really hated it. Whatever. So they don't teach how to deal with emotions, and I mean, I just feel like the world has it so backwards. And like I've said before, I don't know what the other parts of the world are doing. I don't even know what America's doing. Not watching the news. America, I hope you're okay, man. I'm hearing some shit. Maybe you're not okay. I stay in my bubble. I stay where I feel happy. If there's a catastrophe, I'm sure I'll be warned, divinely or otherwise. So it's like, I'm not worried about it. No longer am I worried about staying with the masses. I don't know if I ever really was, but I felt like I had to move with them anyways. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm knowing myself and this is how I've always been. And I haven't always been with the masses, but I felt like I was part of the sheep herd. I don't know. It's like this is all just unraveling so quickly for me right now. So I'm sorry that I can't get like the camera still. Maybe that's better. So with looking at these writings, it just really flooded my mind. Like, oh my God. So seriously, from a young age, I didn't have a sense of identity. I don't feel like I did. I can ask my friends in, around high school age, middle school age, like, what was I like? And they'll tell me, and they have told me. Apparently I was very kind and funny and had a chipmunk laugh, probably still do at the right timing, but apparently I just always like to just have fun in the best of ways. So maybe I did have a sense of self, but I never felt like I really knew or understood myself, and I always sought to understand myself, and I know I've covered this in a video, so I know it's double talk, but I'm going to say it anyway. So all those teeny bopper magazines, and probably even in like Vogue and whatever do they still have those quizzes? I don't know, but I would take them because I wanted to see what kind of person I was, and I always ended up somewhere in the middle, I think, which I guess would be healthy, right? I don't know. I don't really remember. But I always wanted to, like, personality tests, handwriting tests, analysis, and I wanted people to tell me, like, people and things, to tell me who the fuck I was. I don't know. I honestly felt like I wanted to be special. I don't know why this is coming up, because I don't know. That's coming up. I wanted to feel like I was special in a way, but that's the thing. I already was. I am special, just like you are special. Every human, every soul is special. We don't need some kind of like extraterrestrial, like superhuman powers or whatever to be special. Your love and your light and your everything. Amazing, right? Just as I am. So on this journey of self-discovery, it's accepting myself on every level and truly being honest with myself. There's some things I think I haven't been being very honest with myself about, and I'm going to keep those personal. But allowing myself the grace to look at things maybe in a different light. And that's the thing with me, is I'm able to see things from many, many different sides, which is difficult, especially with people who have hurt me, who have betrayed me, who have stabbed me in the back, who have been unkind. Yeah, I don't need to continue. I mean, I think you understand the road. That one's what I'm painting with that one. While seeing the other side, there's so many different sides, right? And it's different with every person because each person who has done their own attacks, if you will, have their own issues. We all do. I have my own shit. But learning to navigate that and to grow into my highest and greatest self. So seeing one side completely, the pendulum swing, right? To the opposite. And hopefully falling somewhere in between, learning boundaries for myself. And even through some comment I put on Facebook, apparently when you write something even remotely sexual on the internet, people go apeshit. It's like, can we be adults and have like an open and pure, it was something about masturbation and some toy I got. And because I'm on this journey of self-discovery and you hear me speak about masturbation often, why wouldn't I know my body the best? I don't always know what I like. There's, people, not everybody had a healthy relationship with sex. So, I mean, I don't need to dive into anything, but there's different levels of awareness and different levels of people who are capable. You know, we were all at different stages in life. And so for me to be open and speak about that in a platform, like I don't have any shame. I'm not embarrassed by it, obviously. But the comment, you know, got actually a couple different nice comments with some pretty mature conversation. And I wasn't looking for anyone to come at me in any type of way. I'm just putting my shit out there because, yeah, I'm using my voice after not for so long, right? Most people took it well, and some people messaged me about my toy, and then there was one in particular that messaged me, and you know, we had a cute conversation going, but then it just seemed to be about like video chat. And this is no disrespect for this person if you ever happen to see this video. No disrespect. I appreciated your conversation and your openness, but this is me holding up my boundary. This is all about self. It has nothing to do with this other person, right? So this is an example of showing you how, even just in a one-on-one, like how to set a boundary. I didn't know what the fuck boundaries were. Like, what does that mean? What? I'll never forget when, like, I think when my therapist started talking about boundaries, or even my ex before I like was in therapy. What are you talking about, a boundary? Like, how do you do it? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't, like, now I'm sitting here like, seriously, how do I do it? I think the best way that I can set boundaries, which are healthy, for myself, is I know myself. Before I didn't know myself, so I relied on people. Hold on one second. Okay, so I relied on people I trusted, right? Like my therapist, or other people that I held in high regard, and, you know, saw them as an example to live by, and used them. And what did they do? I modeled their behavior, which is pretty cool, right? Because as I've spoken about it before, is my therapist modeled for me perfectly how to love my inner children. One of the most amazing tools that she used was a teddy bear that modeled how she soothed that inner child, right? And I have several, as I suspect we all do. We all have different traumas or things that impact us, I think, negatively in our childhood, because nobody's childhood is all fucking daisies, roses, and fucking unicorns and rainbows all the time. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find that person or people. Does that exist? Okay, world, I'm seriously asking you. Perfect, imperfectly perfect childhood. Does that exist? Is there such a thing as a childhood that is nurturing, loving? And this is not speaking about my experience. I'm just throwing it out there. That, like, nurturing, loving, kind, compassionate, showing you self-worth and self-kindness and self-love, and one that promotes the discussion of feelings and identification of feelings. Does that exist? I mean, my God, it has to, right? Because if my therapist can model this behavior for me, and if I'm not going to divulge people's information, but if they happen to have a family, imagine how powerful that would be. Somebody who has done the shadow work, who has done work on themselves, and can model that behavior for their child. So I think I just answered my own question. So this is pretty cool. This is why I do this shit, right? It's a processing tool. So for me to read in this folder, I mean, it's cool shit, right? I'll just keep it in the eye. I was fed such fake bullshit. Like, fucking fairy tale and fucking princess hats with those long, like, you know, the pointy hat that comes up like a giant fucking party hat. And it has that long, like, chiffon material. I don't know. I'm like thinking pink and purple and maybe light blue and maybe a light yellow of colors, which reminds me of a baby blanket, which honestly reminds me of the blanket I got off of TikTok. So that's quite interesting. The blanket I currently have on my bed is a lot like my baby blanket, except this one, because my baby blanket was a lot smaller, and it was made of not a fuzzy material. I mean, I was born in the 70s, so imagine, you know, it was a cloth one, and it had blue and pink and yellow and a white background. So the blanket on my bed is a little bit different, but it does have those colors. And the connection is incredibly fascinating, that when I'm cuddled up on the couch, I want that blanket. It's like a soothing thing, right? So that's how deeply rooted we are in our childhoods. And it gives me great pleasure to know the processing that I just did, to know that actually, yeah, people do have childhoods that they come out pretty all right. And I mean, I think I came out pretty good, but there's people in this world modeling healthy behavior. And for you doing that, thank you. Thank you. And for those that do it for me, because I have role models. I look up to people, and it's no lie that Taylor Swift is a huge role model for me. Just like Paula was for me when I was younger. Taylor embodies that, just the positive outlook on life. I mean, I obviously don't know her personally, and I don't follow her social medias. I know her music, and just her energy is just so pure. That chick is fucking in alignment. Sister, you in alignment, and you have the creative flow, and I know it. I mean, I know it because I do it. And thank God for people like her that I can look up to when I have trying times like I've been going through. I'm able to use her as a tool of positivity, and know that, you know, Taylor has been through some shit herself. I know I've put this in a video somewhere before, but I don't know her personally, and I don't know what she's been through. But there's things in the media, right, that I can kind of, you know, gauge a little bit. So if she's able to go and reinvent and redo and, like, you know, come out of things, it's like, thank you for showing us it's okay to go away for a while and come back, and you come back stronger. I think that's what happened with her. I don't know. Swifties, help me out, please. If I got it wrong, I'm sorry. Anyways, Taylor's amazing. I love you, Taylor. Thank you so much for your incredible gift. Your writing is, honestly, you're the best songwriter this world has ever seen. That's my opinion. The way that you make music is phenomenal. So I'm excited to see what you do next. And with that, I'm going to move through. So the writing and everything I've been through, it just ties back into self and this whole journey of self-discovery. And I've been purging today. I've been writing a lot, doing a lot of creative stuff. Things have been flowing. My throat is open. My heart is, I'm just completely open. And I love days like this where I can just be this. Because I spoke on something earlier that you know, the last few days have been like business-like, taking care of shit. Like, you know, with editing is fuck. Like when you edit a novel, or transfer, like, transferring over, and then one of my poems, Transferring Penance, came to mind. But like working on computer stuff, like doing the work stuff, right? Not the creative flow. It can be very draining. It can be exhausting, especially, you know, when I'm still learning in some things. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. And some things, especially in my laptop, in my MacBook, you know, I don't do them all the time. So it's like I forget. And so that takes me more time because I got to look up, where did I put this research, you know, like that I wrote down. I'm like, I'll remember where I put it. Fuck no, you won't, Lise. You're not going to remember that. Whatever. It's kind of hilarious. I mean, I just kind of laugh at myself for it. What the fuck else can I do? So with that, what's the moral of this story? I don't know. Self-discovery, self-love, self-everything, and know that you are worthy. And as my messages always are about that. As you know, I've hated myself. I've been down that rabbit hole. I've come through it. So yeah, as always, if you're going through shit, which most people are, we all have something in our life that is challenging. You know, life is good, and it has the peaks and the valleys and the mountains, and you know that whole story. So if you're going through it, hang on. And I think you're amazing, and I love you, and you are worthy of all things amazing for your life.